It seems many Marvel fans are itching to know more about Kang the Conqueror ever since the announcement of his role in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. In fact, since last year, Google searches for his name went up almost 500%. So in this video, we'll try to tell you almost every important detail there is to know about Kang the Conqueror. And if you thought Thanos was the deadliest villain in the MCU, you might just change your mind after watching this video. Let's start with his origin, which isn't as simple as most other characters in the MCU for the very special reason of his time travels. In fact, Kang may be the most complex character that you'll ever see. Basically, in the 30th century on Earth 6311, a character appeared named Nathaniel Richards. He was a kind of hero character who led his Earth out of disparity, but then after lifelong battles, eventually in the 31st century, he faced another form of himself from the future who was called Kang. If you think this was mind-blowing, believe us, there's so much more to come. So due to his time travel powers and domination in different dimensions, Kang would later manage to pop up in every timeline in the multiverse. Kang first appeared in Avengers number 8, back in 1964. Also, some people even think Kang was a descendant of Doctor Doom, the main villain of the Fantastic Four series. So now let's dive into some of his powers. Of course, his most noticeable one is his ability to time travel. Other than that, his intellectual powers are supreme, as well as his control over modern technology, which is far superior and sophisticated to anything else. Though he doesn't possess any other actual superpower, his suit really helps him stand out from the rest. Made in the 40th century, the suit has neurokinetic properties, which means it can react to subconscious acts. His gauntlets have blast-firing abilities as well as anti-gravity powers, and according to some, his gauntlets are much more powerful than that of Thanos. Recently, he installed a mind-transferring device in his suit which allows him to transfer his mind into another body in case of death, which is very, very impressive. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far, please hit subscribe and help us grow our channel. Okay, so who are his aliases? They're almost uncountable. They include Iron Lad, Kid Immortus, and even a pharaoh of his time, Rama-Tut, which appeared as a villain in the Fantastic Four franchise. There's even a whole council of Kangs and a Prime Kang who's considered to be the original and most powerful, as he defeated the whole Crosstime Kangs, but according to his own words, he's not sure about that. One of Kang's aliases could actually be considered a hero. He's one of the most pivotal characters in the MCU. Once again, we're talking about Iron Lad. At only 16 years of age, he knew about his future transformation into Kang, a supervillain, so his main battle was to prevent that from happening. He was also a key character in the Young Avengers and is rumored to be featured in a future MCU Young Avengers project. More on that topic can be found in this video here. So, Iron Lad gathered the Young Avengers and formed a team of superheroes who fought many battles to protect their dimension. So that means Kang's not so bad, right? Wrong. Okay, so what about his Kid Immortus alias? Well, the origin of Kid Immortus has a very tragic story. When Kang lost his son, he went into desperation and finally decided to let go of his mission of conquering different dimensions. At this time, the Timekeeper appeared and offered him immortality. In return, he would have to give up on the power of time travel, which Kang accepted and took the role of serving Timekeeper as Kid Immortus. Another story states that when the Iron Lad lost his teammate, Stature, he went into a state of grief and took on the supervillain role of Kid Immortus. In one of the Avengers editions, Kid Immortus even helped the Avengers in the fight against Kang. Another noteworthy tale of Kang is when he came on Earth 616 and he challenged the United States government. The Avengers tried to fight him, but against his greater powers, they faced defeat. When Kang found out that Captain America was from 1945, he sent him back to his era and all the other Avengers were captured. Only the Wasp and Rick Jones were left free to go. Later on, they sought the help of the Fantastic Four and saved Captain America from 1945. Now when it comes to love, Kang faced a very miserable and pitiable destiny. We have seen him fall in love only once, and many say that it was true love that was never meant to be. Kang fell in love with Princess Ravonna, but unfortunately it was only one-sided love. He even went as far as to kidnap a few Avengers and take them into the future, including Black Widow and Quicksilver, as part of a plan to impress Princess Ravonna. He fought and defeated them easily, and then Captain America came to save his Avengers, but he too met the same fate as the others. When nothing worked to impress her, he made everyone else prisoners and captured the princess's kingdom. Yet his love for the princess made him spare her life. This caused a coup in his forces, and his commander-in-general, Baltag, took over the force and used them against him. Seeing this, Kang knew that the only way now to defeat Baltag was teaming up with the Avengers. They joined hands and defeated Baltag in a fearsome battle and stopped him from destroying the universe. Finally, this was enough to make the princess fall in love with him, enough to throw herself in front of a deadly blast aimed for Kang. Ultimately, Kang used 40th century technology to save Princess Ravonna in the form of animation. And this is a very deep and true love story of a supervillain beautifully embedded in the Marvel Universe. Where can we expect to see this supervillain next? As mentioned previously, Marvel finally decided to launch this character into the MCU. He's been confirmed as the main villain in the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The character will be played by Jonathan Majors, who's famous for his exceptional performance in The Last Man in San Francisco. We also have a few clues that he'll be part of the upcoming Loki series, which would not be surprising as that will be revolving around time travel. Either way, there's much hype surrounding this very powerful addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we hope you enjoyed this little refresher on Kang the Conqueror. If you think we missed anything, feel free to let us know in the comments section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Be sure to subscribe to help us grow our channel, and thanks for watching.